Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the school committee meeting of March 12th, 2018. First on tonight's agenda is the acceptance of minutes of the school committee meeting of February 26th, 2018.
Motion to approve?
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? That is a vote. Thank you very much. With the agreement of the rest of the committee, we're going to hope to move item D under heading 4 on our agenda tonight, Curriculum Corner, up to the front of our agenda so these kids can get home and have dinner and relax and be together before the snowstorm starts tonight. So tonight we have with us the Rogers Middle School Foreign Language Program. We'd like to welcome them up. Good evening, Ms. Bond.
Good evening, Mr. Higgins. I'm glad they're going first because they are ready to explode. They are so excited to be here. Let me just introduce to you Colleen Granahan and the students from our 6th grade from Mrs. Carey's homeroom who have taken, are they taking Spanish now? Or have we? Term 2, they took Spanish with Mrs. Granahan, and I've got to just tell you, this is our 3rd year of Spanish, foreign language, at the middle school. Ms. Granahan has been with us for 2 years, and it doesn't get any better than this. Right. Our kids are excited, as you can see, they're engaged. Ms. Granahan has a passion that just goes on to our kids. If you can imagine, learning a foreign language can be a risk, right? It's nerve-wracking, it's hard to learn something new, and you go into that classroom, kids are involved, they're engaged, they're collaborating, they're respectful, they're taking chances, everybody's involved, and it's just fantastic. Our 6th, 7th, and 8th graders are loving it, and our kids are here to show off a little bit. So go ahead, Ms. Granahan.
Thank you for having us here tonight. These are 6th graders that just finished Spanish in term 2. So what we try to do is cover as much as we can. I see 6th graders every other day for a term, so they had about 23 classes with me. We got through colors, numbers, days of the week, months of the year, and some culture. So the most recent thing that they did were days of the week and months of the year. And one of the ways we like to learn is through song. So they're going to sing a song with the days of the week and months of the year in Spanish for you. But first I'm going to let them introduce themselves in Spanish, and then we're going to show how we use some technology with this activity called Plickers. So if we want to step up and introduce ourselves.
Hola, mi hermano Liliana. Hola, me llamo Michaela. Hola, me llamo Anthony.
Hola, me llamo Jose.
Hola, me llamo Brianna.
Hola, me llamo Jade.
Hola, me llamo Cameron.
Hola, me llamo Hannah.
Hola, me llamo Kelly.
Hola.
All right, so the first thing they're going to sing for you is a song with the days of the week in Spanish. Are we ready?
Lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves, viernes, sábado, domingo. 7 días de la semana. 7 días de la semana.
Very good. All right, and our next one is Los meses del año, the months of the year in Spanish.
Enero, febrero, marzo, abril, mayo, junio, julio, agosto, septiembre, octubre, noviembre, diciembre. Estos son los 12 meses del año. Estos son los 12 meses del año.
Nice job. So the activity we have is called Plickers. We like to use this either at the beginning of class or the end of class to check for understanding. So I've given some people your Plicker. So if you notice, there's an A, B, C, or D on it. So I'm going to show you 5 multiple choice questions in Spanish. And what you want to do is hold up at the top the letter that you think is the correct answer. Your fingers can't be touching the black part of the paper, and then I just scan it with my cell phone, and it tells me automatically who got it right and who got it wrong. And then you can look at it as a graph to see what answers were chosen, what the most common answer was. And sometimes we just use it to refresh, sometimes we use it as a quiz grade. So if you guys want to kind of come out in front so I can scan you. So our first question is, How do you say the first of a month in Spanish? El primero de, el uno de, el cinco de, or el cero de? So you can choose your answer and then hold it up. And then once you see a blue check mark next to your name up here, it means your answer was registered, and you can put your paper down.
I'm trouble.
All right, so who can tell me what was our answer to this one?
A.
Good, the answer is A, el primero de. So our next question, how do we say July? Junio, enero, agosto, or julio?
I know all this.
All right, so July is Julio. Okay, so this next one, Sábado el 13 de enero, would that be Friday, January 3rd, Saturday, January 3rd, Saturday, January 13th, or Saturday, January 30th?
Whoops, oh, you lost it.
It's okay. Somebody's got to wiggle the mouse. Dave?
Can you just wiggle the mouse? Do you mind?
I'll do it. I got it.
See what you did there.
Thank you.
There we go.
Oh, MG, that's me. I got that.
Okay, so this one, Sábado el 13 de enero, is
Saturday, January 3rd, 13th.
Saturday, January 13th.
Whoop.
Then we have Monday, March 12th. So lunes el 2 de marzo, lunes el 12 de marzo, jueves el 2 de marzo, or jueves el 12 de marzo.
Could they sing the song again?
All my training in multiple choice.
All right, so for this one, Monday, March 12th is,
Lunes al 12 de marzo.
good, B, lunes el 12 de marzo. And one more. The first day of the week on the Spanish calendar is Domingo, Jueves, Martes, or Lunes. And it's not the same as the first day of the week on our calendar in the US.
Whatever. We made it at this point.
All right, so the first day of the week of the Spanish calendar is
D. Lunes.
Lunes, Monday. So then if I clicked on graph, it would show me how many people answered each question. And then I can go back through here and see what each individual person answered and how many they got right or wrong. So it's just a way we use the
I failed.
technology.
You're not
for
gonna do that,
assessment.
though, right?
No, I won't do that. And that's what we have for you.
I like
Thank
this.
you.
You're clearly not smarter than a fifth grader.
No, I'm not. That boy, wow.
Outstanding job, everybody.
Yeah.
Do you all enjoy Spanish? Do you enjoy taking foreign language? Yeah. Now, do you find that when you're out in your normal day or you hear something on TV that might be said in Spanish, do you start to hear things that you've learned in class and understand them a little bit? It's really great.
Is it something, when you get up into high school, you're going to take Spanish and continue on? Yeah? You enjoy it that much? That's great.
How do you like these clickers? Aren't they cool? I think they do, yeah. They're pretty inexpensive too, aren't they? Yeah.
Pretty good. Great job,
Yeah,
everybody.
good job.
Yeah.
I would-
Excellent job.
I wish I knew enough that I could say something really clever in Spanish to you, but I don't. So
Buenos dias.
great
Buenos
job.
dias.
Great job. Great job.
Gracias.
Thank you. Thank you. Great job, everybody.
Buenos dias.
Okay, next on tonight's agenda, seeing nothing under communications, we'll move on to our superintendent's report. Dr. Cron.
Thank you. I just have a few events coming up that I'd like to remind folks of. First of all, Monday, March 19th, Ethan Schnabel, our resource officer, and Kathy Paulding, our high school assistant principal, will be presenting our lockdown models, the Alice lockdown model, and basically an overview of our safety programs. So, and that will be at 6 p.m. on Monday, March 19th. So I would love to see that well attended. I have to tell you, when we do these events at night, I know folks are tired, but the turnout for these events most of the time is very, very poor. So if you think your neighbor's going to be able to tell you what happened, they probably won't. So I would encourage you to save the date and attend, learn about our current lockdown preparation and our programs.
When?
6 o'clock on March 19th
Where?
Where?
at the high school auditorium.
Okay.
Yep. Next, on Monday, March 26th at 6:30 p.m., we're having a preschool information night. Again, that's March 26th at 6:30 p.m., and that's a preschool information night. Our director, Deb Corvini, and our director of student services, Linda Maniglia, will be there to talk everyone through the program, and we're providing babysitting. So babysitting will be provided Monday, March 26th at 6:30 p.m. I think this will come up a little bit later, but I'm going to skip right to this. On Wednesday, April 4th, we are having a Rockland business breakfast. We're inviting all of the local businesses and many in our region to come to Rockland High School at 7:30 in the morning for a free breakfast. I signed 153 letters today that went out in the mail to all of our friends, and so that's going to be very exciting to get people into the school. April 4th also happens to be the day of the art festival, so we'll be able to have our guests have a nice breakfast and then walk down the hall and hopefully get a glimpse or a preview of the art show that is just an amazing thing to see if you've never been. One other thing for all of you that are taking notes at home, on Monday, April 9th at 6:45 in the lecture hall, the high school guidance department is offering, as arranged, for a representative from MIFA to come to speak to parents about college planning. I'm encouraging elementary, middle, and high school parents to come. The representative from MIFA, which is the Massachusetts Educational Financial Authority, has many, many tools and strategies for planning ahead for education. So if you, like me, think about the cost of college tuition and how it seems like every school now is somewhere between $50,000 and $70,000 a year, which I don't know how that happened. I generally get a shortness and lightheadedness and want to fall over. But I think if you go to this and you learn a little bit about it, it might take some of the stress out for college. So again, Monday, April 9th at 6:45. And then finally, there are a number of things in this school committee packet of all the things that have gone on, and you see them in our newsletters. But a picture's worth 1,000 words, and receiving a copy of a picture from South Sudan, from the middle school's effort to raise money for water, the Walk to Water program. They raised $6,300, and if you go online, you'll see it, but it's a photo standing next to a well in South Sudan. Folks, where this $6,300 went to help build a well that's going to provide fresh water for a community. And talk about reaching out and actually touching the rest of the world. Our kids did it for real. They raised this money and they helped to build a well that will provide a better quality of life for thousands and thousands of people. So it's great to see something that actually you're doing in school and it has an actual effect. So I was so pleased with that, and congratulations to the Rogers Middle School and all the staff that worked on that.
Janet Cook, grade 6 reading teacher, who
Jan-
was in charge of
Janet Cook, who organizes that every year, but this was a very special event, and so I just wanted to point that out.
Great.
And that's it.
Outstanding. Any comments, questions from anybody?
Yeah, sounds good.
I think that's great. Rockland kids, we know, make a great impact in this town. We have some great students in here, but it's so really cool to see the impact and the goodness of Rockland and Rockland kids, touching people in the Sudan. That's awesome news.
Yeah, it was great.
Thank you very much. Next on tonight's agenda are monthly reports for February. We'll entertain 4 motions for 4 reports.
4 motions?
Will be 4 motions for the administrator's report, the guidance report, the nurse report, and pupil personnel services. Do we have a second?
4 seconds.
All those in favor?
Right.
That is a vote. Thank you very much. Next up, item B under reports, we have school newsletters for March, which are always full of information and colorful, but I feel so far sorry for the parents at home that had to see one of these school committee members' goofy face reading to kids. That would be myself at the Eston School.
They use it as a dot point.
Exactly. But what a great day. And I know we did that all at all 3 elementary schools, taking part in Reading Across America. What a great thing for Dr. Seuss's birthday. All the kids were excited. and
Super fun.
Really nice buzz in all 3 of the schools.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So thank you very much for the lovely reports from the Aston Jefferson Memorial Park, the middle school, and the high school. Next up, we have building rentals for February for your information.
Okay, we just, we talked about that some time ago about the building rentals, and, we had a discussion about doing some type of analysis of what's going on. You had given me some feedback on that. I don't know if you want to just talk about that for a little bit.
Well, we're just starting to collect data, but
Okay. Right.
what we're going to do is compile a list of, I'd say, about a dozen schools that are similar demographic
Okay.
and so on, and we'll do a comparison when the rates were last raised. For example, athletic fees. I know for a fact our athletic fees have been the lowest in the South Shore League since I've been here. But at a point, we may have to raise fees for certain things. It's a part of the budget, so.
Right. So we're just going to take a look at all that stuff and see what the impact is and what we can do.
Yeah, I've asked, in fact, we had a leadership team this morning, and I've asked formally for each principal, and I've asked quite a bit of Ms. Forlizzi to really do a careful analysis of where we might be able to make some changes and save some money, and we're working hard at that on a regular basis.
Okay. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Seeing nothing under new business, seeing nothing under old business, under new business, we have the request for approval of the 2018-19 Ease Leap Steps Handbook, and this is the first reading.
Motion to table?
Yeah, just a question.
Okay.
What are the changes?
None.
Oh,
Zip.
Okay, all right, because that answers that.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
That's right, correct? Yeah,
So do you want to waive the first reading?
sure.
I'm comfortable with that being if there's no changes.
Yeah,
No
changes.
changes.
else?
A motion to waive.
Okay. And all those in favor? That is a vote. Thank you very much. Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Great.
Okay, next up, we have the 2018-19 school calendar, and this is as well the first reading. Anything to highlight on there, Dr. Cron?
Very little. We've appreciated the extra early release days so far. Professional development is something we're really focusing on this year, and when I say professional development, that's code for giving teachers in the classroom the skills and the tools that they need to do their job. Professional development is a big part of that. So the one thing that we've done this year that I think is kind of neat is if you look at December 9th, we're asking the committee to approve this calendar that puts a professional development day after Columbus Day. So it gives our families a 4-day weekend, and it allows our staff to come back refreshed after a 3-day weekend and have a professional development day that way. It struck me over Martin Luther King weekend when the district where I live did it, and I thought, I was just putting myself in the place of teachers and thinking it would be nice to come back from a long weekend and have professional development and be fresh, as opposed to doing it on a Friday. So it's a little change, but that's about it.
I see Good Friday is right on spring break next year.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Works out.
Doesn't always
Does.
happen.
It's
yeah.
timely.
Yeah, that is.
Excellent.
Motion to table.
Motion to table?
Second.
We have a second. All those in favor? That's a vote.
Just
Thank you.
a comment, Doctor.
Yes.
5 snow days, I know that's been the same this year. Curious, how many snow days have we had counting tomorrow this year?
I want to say 5.
So
Five
now,
would be-
so from now on,
Yep.
We're adding.
Yep.
we're adding,
Yep.
okay.
Makeup
Okay,
time.
Yep.
thank you.
Okay, next on tonight's agenda, we have the summary of spring 2018 Rockland Community Education classes. Dr. Cron,
Yes.
anything to highlight?
I just think that the sewing classes they're fun to watch. I think,
Quilting?
yep, quilting and tarot card reading. I haven't dropped in on that one yet, but
How about golf?
once a year.
I see you more as a Zumba guy.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
or a gentle
thinking
yoga.
yoga.
Yeah, Zumba, I don't think that'll happen.
Gentle yoga.
Pretty soon I could do fit over 50 though.
All right. Now, it seems to be shrinking.
The list?
Yeah.
No, it's just a smaller font, Tom.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
No.
No, I think it's very active. Patricia Penny does a phenomenal job putting this together and managing all this, as well as participating in many of
She
them.
does.
Yeah.
So it's a
Good.
robust program.
Excellent. Motion to approve the community
Motion.
education adult classes.
Most of,
Oh, we have a second? All those in favor? That is a vote. Thank you very much.
oh,
Request for approval of fundraisers. We have 3. We have the varsity cheerleading team. We'll be doing a meat raffle at Damien's in April. Class of 2019 will be having 2 fundraisers. They'll be having a Dining for a Cause in April, and they'll also be having a fudge catalog in March. Sounds dangerous.
3 motions?
3 motions, and we have 3 seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. New infant classroom at the daycare, next on tonight's agenda. Dr. Cron, would you like to talk about that?
I'm gonna ask for Lizzie to talk about that.
Yes, we have a waiting list of infants, mostly because of our in-district teachers having children. So we have, there's a room at the Bill McKinley School that we can actually create into an infant room, knock down a wall. Mark Shawn will help us do that. Put some new carpeting in, buy the furniture and equipment that we need, and we will have a new infant room that we can house 7 new babies.
Wow. When will this start?
Well, if you give us the okay, we will start next week.
So in other words, you anticipate this
We have a
soon?
waiting list now.
Yeah, you get the waiting list, but I mean, when
When?
would you anticipate?
Oh, opening?
Yeah.
I would say within the month.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Good.
yeah.
Is there any licensing or
No.
impediment in that way to be able to add it in?
We're not
I know
required
it's
to
not a
hold any
license, I understand, but I know
We follow
that-
guidelines from
Right,
EDC.
exactly, right.
So we do early education centers, we do follow those guidelines, but
Great.
we don't have to follow them.
Well, it's great to be talking about the daycare and talking about adding programming.
Yes.
I mean, that's outstanding. It's so great that the daycare is, doing so well and thriving over there, and of course that there is a need and parents wanting to send their infants there. I think
Yes.
that's
No doubt.
fantastic.
Yes,
Do we have to add staff though? 'Cause it's an
yes, we'll have to
infant
hire an infant teacher, yes.
Right. Because you have a ratio, what's this, 7 to 1?
The ratio is 3
3
to 1 with the
3
infants.
to 1?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you
room? The
have to-
infants are the least profitable.
Right.
Yeah.
for
But
any
once they're in,
daycare. But
they'll-
once they're
we'll
in,
keep
they
them.
grow, so you
Yeah,
gotta.
so it's good to have that infant.
Yeah.
Plus, we're servicing our teachers.
Right.
We need it.
Oh, sure,
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
absolutely.
And it should be said, the overall daycare program is very profitable.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's doing well. Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a second. All those in favor? That is a vote. Thank you very much. Last but certainly not least on tonight's agenda, as always, is our public service announcements. And as always, we go with ladies first, and we'll start with Ms. Macy Jones, our student representative.
So depending on snow and whether or not school is ready on Wednesday, Rockland students will be proceeding with the walkout. Mr. Harrison has given his approval, and we're working with Officer Snable as well. We're going to be dismissed from class, and it's from 10 to 10:17, and we're gonna walk out to the faculty parking lot in front of the school, and we're gonna be contained in there, and then once the 17 minutes are up, we'll return to the school and return to class.
Good.
Outstanding. I'm glad to hear that. I'm really glad with the way this developed. I think you all should be really proud of yourselves. You know, first of all, for being socially aware and caring about your futures, but also with the dialogue that you've had with Dr. Harrison and Dr. Cron, and being able to work something out that I think is a really responsible, really adult thing to show solidarity with this real big issue that we have, you know, and students being safe, and it's a multi-headed issue on emotional health and, you know, all this stuff. And it's so smart of you guys to care about your future and take an active role in it. So
Thank you.
I'm glad to see everyone was able to work together on this, and hopefully it'll be an important moment for everybody.
Yeah.
And I also appreciate the fact that the last time we were here, when we were talking about that you actually came and asked us how we felt about it, and what we, you know, and our ideas about it. And I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Just it's not open to the media or the public or parents.
And to be clear,
It's-
too,
it's a
all the
private-
students will be supervised.
Absolutely. So it's not, do not plan to attend media or the public. It is we're in the middle of a school day, and security will
And
be handled that way.
Yep, I think it's important to note that the focus of this isn't really a political one side or the other. I think it's really one
Solidarity.
of solidarity and showing that you care about each other and you care about your futures and owning it a little bit. So I think that's all to be commended.
I think the parents in the town of Rockland should be very proud of you guys.
I agree.
Very proud.
I agree.
It's just in addition to that, I'm really amazed at the students down in Florida, how they've approached this whole thing and how they've kept together and been doing like that. And I think that's important for our future, for the country's future, in this whole thing. And I really think that you guys are doing a super job. Thanks.
Great job. Okay, thank you, Ms. Jones.
Thank you.
Dr. Small.
I just also want to say I'm very proud of you and all of your classmates. I think it's really mature, really thoughtful, and really responsible for those of you who are planning to participate, and those of you who are not. It's also thoughtful and responsible, and I am really proud of the way that the schools and the students have come together to handle this, and I'm happy that you'll be able to be socially active in a safe way, which is really important. I want to thank the town, the fire department, the police station, or the police department, the emergency management group that we have. Really, everybody in this town came together over the last 2 storms that we had, and we have one upcoming tomorrow, and did an amazing job. And I know the same will be true tomorrow, even though it will probably be a little bit worse than the other 2 that we experienced. Hopefully not, but there'll be quite a bit of snow. And so I just encourage everyone to take care of each other during this time. So check in on your neighbors, help each other, look in specifically on the elderly or those with young children, or those that you just know that need help, and just continue to come together as a community, and to thank those first responders that we have, and everybody else who's out there helping us.
Thank you, Dr. Small. Mr. Phelps.
I appreciate the comment on looking in at the elderly. I really do.
You're the first one.
I
to
need
get
all
I'll send you a text message.
I need all the looking in on that I can get. I'll tell you right now. But anyway, no, just congratulations to our winter sports teams. As you know, we just kind of fell off the table with hockey, but considering who we lost to, the boys did a great job. You take a school like Hanover, and I'm not looking for excuses, but they're probably a third more the size than Rockland High School. Our kids did us proud. A lot of good things to look forward to. There's a Broadway night coming up, I think, in a week or 2. There's, well, you mentioned the art festival, and I know it was around that time. We have the Spelman Oratorical Contest. Pretty much anything that piques somebody's interest, they should contact either the high school principal's office or the superintendent's office, and I'm sure they can get a schedule of things, all good stuff that our kids are doing and participating in, and that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Phelps. Mr. Mills.
I just, again, you know, with all the storms and everything else, be safe. I mean, just, you know, like I said, watch out for everybody, anybody in the neighborhood. Make sure everybody's around. Don't worry, spring is coming. It will be here soon, and all those beautiful flowers will be out there.
Makes me hopeful.
Yeah, you should be hopeful.
Mr. Garofalo.
I'm very impressed with the plan that came together for what you guys are doing. It's outstanding. You guys doing it for the absolute right reasons. There's no outside pressure to do this, do that, say this, say that. You're doing it for what needs to be done. And I commend you guys because I think it's outstanding. And hopefully Wednesday we'll be able to, the weather will cooperate enough that you guys can do it. Aside from that, I think the town did such a great job with the storms that we had, the loss of power for 3 days. Some people still don't have internet, so for all those people who think that everything is going to come through Facebook for your truth, those people are now in trouble because they don't have internet. So, hats off to everybody who's going to be working 24 to 48 hours the next couple of days, making sure we can drive on the streets and keep us safe. And everybody, make sure you're checking in on each other. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Boy, you guys stole a lot of my thunder. Yeah. But, I too would like to thank both Chief Duffy and Chief Llewellyn, the police and fire, throughout the recent challenges here in Rockland, both with the scary incident we had in our school a few weeks back and with the recent storms. We're really in great hands with our police and fire here in town. But also just relative to the storm, I always talk about how great Rockland is and how good Rockland is to each other. But throughout that whole thing, I saw neighbors helping neighbors, people pulling carpets out of each other's basements, people borrowing each other's trucks. Rockland just doing for Rockland, as Rockland always does. So just, as painful as it was to go through that whole thing, makes you proud of your neighbors for sure. And the only other little announcement I have is, of course, March 23rd, correct? It's a big night here at the high school gym. It's the annual Shamrock Classic. Is it the 22nd? 22nd.
It's the
Thank
22nd.
you. 22nd.
I can't play because it's child's birthday.
Okay, thank you.
You say you just can't play, or there was a reason?
It's my daughter's birthday.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right,
You-
okay. I
Yeah.
just thought you were admitting that you can't play.
No, I
And
wrestle.
I'm too old, so leave me alone.
So come for the fun, come for the
You and I-
competition.
Dick, you and I can play.
There you
Yeah,
go.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Come
yeah.
for the fun, come for the competition, come to watch me tear my ACL.
Yep.
It's going to be great. It really is a great event. It really is a quintessential Rockland event. You get to see the whole gym buzzing about excitement for our middle school kids who are always chasing the hope to be able to beat the faculty. So it's a fun event. We hope to see all of Rockland there as they always are. And other than that, just be very safe in the storm. And as Rockland has done in the past, continue to look out for each other. That being said, last thing to do tonight would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
And all those in favor? That is a vote. Thank you very much, and everybody have a great night and be safe.